over Miracle, absolutely.
Yep, Feliz and Miracle on the same day. They lost 0-3 against Feliz against Miracle against KSP
Yeah.
and Feliz against Blossom 3-3. Very one-sided games all the way. They had lots of troubles looking for the best hero and the comp. Oftentimes they were given the Genji, they took the bait, but failed against the stronger teams. And they only had 2 days to adjust. They had that match up on Friday. So within those 2 days, what did they really focus on? There are lots of crazy things happening in Korea, depending on the team play style. So I think what they focused on will really show in tonight's match from each team.
Yeah. See if the Probius Infernal Shrine strategy spreads, or if that's just going to be a one-off, because I do feel like there's a lot of power in that strategy we saw yesterday. Because Probius basically, with his level 7 talent, just shields everybody, so he becomes like a shield generator. A lot of zoning tools, vision, like you were mentioning, with the pylons in the line of sight blockers. So a lot of really cool ways to utilize this hero in this meta right now, on Infernal Shrine specifically. Maybe you can make an argument for Volskaya as well, but here's Miracle. Miracle has been struggling, G-Clef. 29% win rate. They are 9-22 at the moment.
So let's go back to part number 1. Miracle defeated Feliz 3-1. Actually, they were pretty dominant in that series. But it is not the same story anymore. Back then, Gunja was on the Junkrat twice out of the 4 games. Since the role change between Gunja and Judy has been the main problem, we always mention this. They are getting better. Judy's getting a lot more aggressive, but sometimes, especially against the stronger teams, they just lose their rotation and they do not know what to do after that.
Yeah, H82 I feel like just hasn't found his home on this team as well. Like, just not... I mean, even though clearly you can see on camera these guys are very close with each other and they get along well, in terms of in-game shot calling and the impacts that H82 normally made as a solo laner, it just isn't showing up in this squad. And you can't always just improve a team by pulling in a top-tier player from another MOBA and one of the better solo laners from last year in H82, the former Tempest top laner from BlizzCon. You can't just take these two talents and then say, okay, crazy moving was the problem, we're a better team now, this is who we are. You cannot do that, as has been proven. You have to work on the synergy within your own team, changing roles, changing players. These things basically give your team, they reset them back to nearly 0, and you have to grow back from there. And what we've seen from Miracle this season versus Feliz, I have to say, when I make the comparison, Feliz has shown significantly larger growth, has shown significantly larger improvement. Miracle stuck in the same place they were realistically 7 weeks ago.
Yeah, I think that starts from their front line. OJ from Feliz, the tank, and Gunza, the tank from Miracle. They have very small hero pool. Garrosh, Muradin, etc. Other than those 3, maybe Gunza plays a little bit more on Nubarak, but basically that's it. I think those will be sniped very much in this first series or taken away from the first one. We could actually see like ETC locked in with the first pick in this matchup.
Oh, it is absolutely possible. But that's a problem, you know, that's an issue. You can draft around it, but the rest of your draft becomes weaker. As a result, you end up losing priority picks. I don't think that'll happen on this first map, because this map is Hanzo priority, Hanzo City. It's your map, G-Clef, with your fake Hanzo name tag today.
See already, Garrosh ban, we see this happening against OJ. It worked very well against Feliz last time, and also Medivh.
Alright, Shimada's open. Malfurion has been the go-to first pick, though, in across all games this week, pretty much, with some exceptions.
Hanzo, at your service. I grow tired of waiting. Pick me, please.
Simple statistics.
Well, they're actually spending
well,
quite a while.
I think they didn't expect the Medivh ban, so they're trying to decide, okay, do we give both Shimada Bros potentially if we grab the Malfurion? Should we try to take the Uther route? Feliz has great Tracer play as well, as we know, so that's an issue that you have to consider. You can take away the Malfurion, but doesn't mean that Feliz isn't just going to draft around it and go into the Genji Uther. Hanzo has been the more popular pick on this map and is actually about to pass Uther for phase 1. 6 more picks and he will.
But Maiev is also open. That's right. And I
so
think
there's a lot. This is why like we need more bans, right? It's like, whoa!
Whoa! So many things. Phoenix is coming too. What? Can you let him through? And it's the Hanzo Malfurion pick. Of course, Feliz, even when they had the first pick, they were picking Malfurion over and over. It really hurt them when they did not get that Medivh pick. It's already banned from their own side, so they have to have something else in mind against the burst damage. And Miracle already has that burst with the Wombo combo, starting with that Maiev pick.
Yeah. Junkrat, I think, is something they need to grab here. He's not the greatest on this map. Remember, neither is Maiev. In theory, you can obviously get some picks in the in the 4-man if you are able to get some Umbral binds, but it's easier said than done. Hanzo's naturally has longer auto attack range than most heroes and has a
6.5.
That's right. So not quite Rainer levels, but he's halfway there. He's gonna be positioned well enough to avoid those tethers. So we're gonna see Genji locked in. Feels like a pretty obvious Uther ban now for Feliz. Also, Tyrael ban could be quite powerful here.
I think a Rehgar ban isn't the worst.
That's true
also,
too.
because we saw lots of Tempest, also Ballistics using Rehgar as a support. Of course, as a support, but and also for a dive. Okay, really going for that tank. The frontline snipes here. And
yeah, this is basically saying like, okay.
Since I saw your Anubara a few times, it was okay, and you were getting better at it. So
he is improving. He's had some really weak moments, let's be honest, but if I'm Feliz, I'd rather take away one of the supports.
Me too. I would just spend Rehgar. It's an easy one.
I like
the Uther.
I like the Uther ban. They will probably pick Rehgar now, but at least you know what to expect at this point. And Genji will never be empowered.
For Miracle, Medivh is already out of the equation, so and what else can provide that protection? Not too much, but there's always Tyrael with the Sanctification, and lots of things can be harassed, can be basically nullified with that perfect Sanctification in the circle. So I think for Miracle, Tyrael is the best ban.
Yeah, I completely agree. That way they can still run the Rehgar. They don't have to pick Stukov. If they don't ban the Tyrael, I feel like Stukov is almost required because he can stop the Sanctifications in that zone like you were talking about yesterday. So I think those are the real focal points here. Otherwise, you're just looking at maybe another ban on a hero that could shut down your composition here. It's going to be the anti-dive hero ETC that they ban. So they want to go deep on this. I think Feliz should certainly take the Tyrael now that it's left open. It's a tough hero to play, to be honest, and I do feel like OJ has shown some weakness on the tank play recently, especially as Muradin looked a little bit weak a few days ago.
Tyrael only 3 times for OJ, and 0 and 3, 0%.
Yeah, it's not his greatest hero, so that's a bit of an issue. But trying to grow the team, right? Trying to grow hero pools. We're trying to improve our standing in this league, and is what Feliz is thinking right now. And I think you gotta lock in the Tyrael. You gave them the Maiev. You've gotta have a plan here because Malfurion Hanzo is great in almost every situation on this map, but against the Maiev, you need a better answer to the cage. And I think that Tyrael is that answer. OJ's inexperience and bad win rate aside, his most played hero is Muradin at 12 games played, and he just has not looked strong on it. He's going to lock it in anyways.
Still
I cannot agree with this.
But still the Muradin, but they do have another source as with the bunker. That's one extra that they have. Muradin not really the most defensive tank line compared to Tyrael that we were talking about.
Yeah. He can't give you any support. He peels, he's difficult to kill, he can harass, but who's he really going to be harassing in this lineup? Maybe Li Ming, if Li Ming is the second DPS coming out here. Well, I guess they realistically won't because they have Maiev already, so it's really just going to be Genji. Where is Miracle's race potential with this draft? Like, how are they going to rush down the Immortal? They have to kill people.
I think they really want to pressure, and charging in, I think we have to look at that possibly a Diablo maybe? Because they were the ones banning all that tank, and they still need a tank right here. A Nubarak was a possibility, but not the best one against what Feliz has right now.
Yeah, you're going to get stuck with the Nubarak. Oh, man.
Still?
This match is so interesting because, even without the Tyrael, they picked the Stukov. This match is so interesting because this draft would, like, never appear with any of the other 6 teams that we have in HGC. This is Comfort Pick City. This is just Well, I know it's a better choice, but you know I just can't play. I can't play the other tanks. I'm gonna grab Lamey. I can't grab the other tanks. I have to play Muradin, even though Tyrael makes way more sense. It's just like, well, your Muradin 12 games played, 4 and 8, 33% win rate. Might drop after this map. You picked a hero that is not ideal for the situation, but is ideal for your hero pool of currently 5 heroes.
So we were predicting what made more sense against the other team comp, and also what works better for your own team, but they just went for the comfort picks. As we know it, it's on the paper. If you go to the stats, well, now also HGC has all the team stats on our website.
That's
now.
Right.
If you go there and click on the players, you will see what kind of heroes, what they like to play, what kind of comp they like to play. And this is exactly what they have been playing, but it's not to counter against the other team. It doesn't really fit the map 100%. Of course, Feliz has Hanzo, but Miracle they really don't have the most racing potential like Vala or Tannis or anything else.
Yeah, they have to get kills. They straight up have to dive and get kills, which is why I think the Tyrael pick is so amazing. Gunza's playing DPS, by the way. Okay, Judy's on tank. This makes a little bit more sense.
This makes a lot better of a sense, but Judy still has not really shown too much of a new Barak either. But they knew this going in. They were the ones banning the tank front line, so I think this is a much better idea. We were always hoping for this to go back.
Yeah.
We never talked to the players, by the way.
Remember that this is, well, I mean, that's not 100% true, but
well, for Miracle. Yeah, for Miracle.
They make these decisions, we don't know about them before the matches. I do want to say that, like, as much as I think this is correct, it's also putting them back to ground zero again. They're starting over again, trying to rebuild this comp. And it's just too late for part 1, or sorry, for phase 1. Let's see how it goes. Let's see if they can take this 3-0 today that they are looking for, that they want. Well, right now I think that the draft of Feliz, minus the Muradin pick, is much stronger. Great stun there. OJ missed a lot of Storm Bolts on Friday, but today, at least starting off this first one, right? Okay, they want Frankel here. That's a great dive. That is the kind of focus fire you need with this comp. You need to have good target selection. You need to be ready to go. Like I said yesterday, pull the trigger. And that's exactly what they did. Dead Hanzo, out of position. All it takes is bam, one shot call, and that's dead Hanzo.
Yeah, he was way too in front. I know he wants that stack off of the walls to the side and also the towers for Miracle's side, but that's not the position that you want to be in. That's a kill. Not the worst time before there's still a lot of time before that Immortal, so you can build up those stack Frankel, 1 kill. You can give that up, and you didn't really lose anything in the lane, other than that hero experience. Going to Miracle with that 1 kill.
Yeah. Nothing too crazy here. Obviously, this is a good sign for Miracle because they know that it's possible to get these kills. They know that their focus fire is good, their shot calling is good, snap decision making to be able to grab that hero and eliminate it is what this comp needs to have. So they just need to continue to do that. If they can maintain this level of quick reaction time, they're going to have the advantage. Also in the top lane, Blaze is winning that matchup against Sonya. Fairly common. It doesn't always happen. It really depends on who's playing what, but he's actually rotating down. So Miracle's going to have to take a more defensive posture. Great dodge there by Gunza.
Hanathan knows that he can't really contest. He can, but it's sometimes super hard against the Sonya. And Hanathan's not the most aggressive player himself, so he chooses to actually rotate down instead, looking for some lucky CC if possible. But they're the one pushing the wave anyhow. Yeah. So if you want to kind of set it up, you have to be hiding or losing the lane intentionally, or just go off to the side, do your own camp at the bottom.
Yeah.
They have to do something else, but that rotation was basically a waste.
It was a total waste. They lost a lot of experience top. As a result, you can see it on the experience bar at the top. Yeah, I'm going to say EXP, guys. I kind of hate it, but that's what I'm going to say. The EXP bar, you can tell at the top. And also, Sony got the neutral camp after clearing the wave. So that has to be dealt with. This forces Frankel even to come up here. So Miracle has total control over this Immortal at the moment.
Gladly, they don't have the most damage, but their melee will just do the racing all right. Onto the Immortal, they will win the halftime. And HGC just casually goes to the bottom lane, gets that wave clear, which Blaze is doing on top, but it takes a longer of a time. He was there for a long time already.
Well, they're going to try to go over here and take control away from Miracle. Luckily, Miracle doesn't have a lot of damage, so if they can actually trade well here, it's difficult for Feliz to actually, or sorry, for Miracle to actually finish this, whereas Feliz can just use Scatter Arrow to race, and that's exactly what they're doing. So they're basically trying to delay 5v4 because there's not a lot of damage on Miracle. Looking for the pick here on the Sniper.
Nice vault from Sniper, just disregarding that stun coming in.
That was almost a kill, though. If this vault had been on cooldown, he would have been dead. Still a good trade for Feliz. And look at how much they were able to eliminate of shields. This was going to be 100 to 0. Now it's, you know, 1/3 of a shield. Losing these two members at the end, though, trying to get picks, that one, you know, left a little bit to be desired. But the idea here, taking the 4v5 fight against a team that doesn't have a lot of damage on the Immortal, chipping away at the shields, using Frankel, that was correct. That was well played. Still, though, Miracle with this nice lead now. Look at the top lane with the kill on the Blaze. Sonya is already chipping away at that top wall. So 2 walls are being destroyed at the same time here. This is going to push Miracle into a massive experience lead.
At least, even after picking Hanzo, they were willing to actually kind of dive in. They were excited that they almost had a kill onto Maiev, which they didn't with the vault. Nice dodge there. Hanatun CC coming in slightly late all the time, really not saving his team to get the kill.
Well, he needs to be able to save his team with the bunker later. So that's going to get a lot harder when Miracle gets their heroics. It's just really interesting to me that we've seen the big move away from the Junkrat pick with Maiev. Maiev was picked and then they grabbed Genji instead. That combo seems to be pretty dead right now. If you look at what Miracle has in terms of combo, it's really just CC in the cage plus the silence. That's about it. So it's not the craziest Maiev pick ever. They haven't really gotten many grabs with the Umbral Bind. So, you know, they're winning this mostly because Feliz made some bad decisions, and mostly macro bad decisions, but not because of the Maiev pick. So don't, you know, those at home watching be like, of course they lost, they let Maiev through the draft. It's not really about that right now.
I think Junkrat is still very viable, and it works with Maiev very well. And you saw it back in Eastern Clash so many times. Hold on as HGC will survive, of course. In Junkrat, it's, I think, personal picks, personal comfort picks. Like if you're good at it, if you can land in all those Qs, like a CSC or even Gunza, he used to play lots of Junkrat. If you like to play that style of hero, then go choose it. But if you don't really like him, then you don't have to. He's not S tier right at the moment.
Required, yeah, that's definitely true. It's a good way to put it. Another failed rotation by Feliz. 5-man to the top, no kills, and they're just now starting to get the wall, but Maiev got all that soak bottom the whole time. So Miracle's massively ahead in experience, again, with only 3 kills, mostly because of their laning decisions. Feliz is just going to try to get this wall while not losing too much soak bottom. They did eventually send Blaze down there, but now they're overextending. This is when you rotate, when the team is pushing hard. Good dodge here on the bind by OJ, which is going to stay within its range to not get pulled. But level 10's up, and even though Miracle has a bad racing comp, they still have the 10 advantage, so they can just simply get on this. HA2 is the best tool they have. That's why he's the one who's hitting this. He's even stronger now that he has his heroic. Dragon Blade is locked in, meanwhile.
Going for OJ, has the bind, so can't Dwarf toss away. They have so much damage within that time to just burst that Muradin without the avatar. So we were talking about this when we were coming here. Actually, Korean teams focusing the tanks so much nowadays. They realize without 1 DPS, they can still fight if they have the sustain with the tank, sometimes with the double support, with just a solo DPS. But if they remove the tank, there is no line, there is no positioning where they can actually make the fighting ground for themselves.
Yeah, you have to leave after that. Your opponent still has a tank, especially if that tank is at full health, then you're going to have the CC. You can't really maximize your damage, especially with normal ranged heroes, because you're just going to get grabbed by all this the CCs. Heroes of the Storm has always been a game with a ton of crowd control effects. It's been like that since the beta, and that hasn't really changed. We have a lot of lockdown, so if you lose your tank who's trying to block the CC and or absorb the CC for you, then your backline's going to be taking the CC. So if you can kill the tank, it's fantastic. I do want to point out, OJ, again, he's been pretty lackluster this season.
Yes.
He is currently 22 kills and 83 deaths. Pretty low KDA, 2.58 at the moment. One of the lowest in the league. Very much unable to stay alive on these tanks. He's the one you want to focus down. going into the fight right now, just tossing down that Thunderclap. There's a lot of poke on the side of Feliz, luckily for them, so bursting down this Immortal is reasonable. OJ going in this time, finds his mark with the Stormbolt body blocks here. He's looking for HA2, but the Whirlwind is there. He gets away. They're still going to grab Maev on the way out. Resets coming through here. That's all they're going to get. Meanwhile, the Immortal is still hitting the keep, so is this kill even worth it? Are these kills even worth it? If the keep goes down, I don't think so, and it looks like it certainly will. This is the more important.
I think if they 5-man on the Immortal, they could have defended the keep with very low HP. They still had Hanzo, they had some damage. This one, they were actually making the engage. They had Bunker, the Avatar.
That was actually a really good play by OJ, despite the fact that we were kind of criticizing him right before that moment happened. He made the play. He hit the Stormbolt, got the body blocks going off. I don't know about this blade. Well, they're stuck in the bunker. Roots coming in.
No cage, so they don't really have the time. Judy gets stuck right in there.
It's a bit of a sloppy game, shall we say.
35 from both teams right now. Just poking in, doing damage. There's the arrow.
Okay, HA2's living a lot with this Whirlwind. Can Gunza get the wipe? Gets another reset, dash reset here. Leo is the target. Another dash reset. Aimer. Not even need to use his dash to get the kill there. What a mess that fight was. Am I watching China or what? Keeps down. They're just going to prep this wave so that the core is going to be under attack. So Feliz has to deal with that when they respawn. Look at this. Even pushing bottom, maximizing the experience lead.
And they can just select the camp they want to grab first and then go towards the next one. That's like that. This is the best feeling after winning a team fight. You have so many things to actually choose from when this kind of things happen. Like the top one is available, the bottom one, and also one on your side. Then you take everything. You still have the entire control on the map. You're leading the game. There is like there is no chance for the other team to actually come back into the game. That's how you feel right now as Miracle. Of course, mistakes can happen, but right now it seems unlikely.
Yeah. Well, Miracle's still going to have to get onto this Immortal first or try to look for a fight before the Immortal phase really begins. They get on top of this first, but they don't actually get the angle they're looking for. So now, Feliz are the best possible position they could hope for. It's tough for them to get into range, but they have poke. So Leeming is just going to be poking this Immortal down. Miracle is going to have to decide to come in and fight. Dragon Blade is available again.
Okay. OJ oftentimes soaks in damage, but takes too much. He doesn't have to go all the way in. They have Leeming and Hanzo. They're not really the ones. They have long range. They can actually be all the way in the back, poking slowly.
Yeah. Sorry, Malfurion did use his cleanse, so
Hanzo's away, so they were pushed back.
Yep. He had to deal with that catapult pressure. That's why getting a keep early is so important.
And Miracle does not really have too much poke. Feliz, all they have to do is just defend. There's a cocoon. Going to Hanaton.
Disintegration used early in this fight. Aimer is under attack.
Bunker will be dropped down right after the silence. Malfurion's already gone.
Yeah, he's gone. No one can fight here. Cage coming up. So much damage in here. OJ's doing what he can, but they don't have the damage anymore. Fortunately, Franco's just unable to finish these targets. Everyone's low, but he's silenced. Can't even jump over the wall. Now he can. The silence was removed, but that might actually be enough to end the game. Looks like they're going to take the safer path. Well, there's a little bit of dispute, looks like, within the team. Going to win halftime. Could have maybe collapsed on the core, but they don't have Sanctification. They didn't pick Tyrael.
Two things you can do. You can just go with the Immortal at the bottom lane, or you can just send the Immortal to the bottom lane and go straight to the core, which will cause some miscommunication in the other team.
Yeah.
Let's see how Miracle decides to do this one.
They have either option. Like if they were escorting the catapults, they could do a lot of damage, then come back to the Immortal. There was always a risk they lose the fight, even though they have a talent tier advantage. But this move means they're going to get both keeps at worst case scenario. Even if they get wiped, they have both forts up, so it's very unlikely Feliz will end the game. We're also only 13 minutes in. So either plan, they're going to all in the core, at least they should, because the risk is super low of losing the game, or even losing a keep at this stage. Immortal's highly shielded. Jode gets caught, cleansed. Sniper coming in, looking for a cage opportunity, but he's going to have it in 20 seconds. OJ gets out of the cocoon here.
With disintegrate from Aimer.
Yeah.
Blaze is pulled. Time for a bunker. Does not.
Silence is not enough to stop him from getting across with the charge. Bunker is still available, as you say. Wall's down here. Aiming with the pokes. Frankel as well. Frankel trying to flank here. Trying to be Flankle, but not doing any damage. Arrow just goes straight down the middle, not connecting with anyone.
Good dodge from Miracle, knowing the area angle. But the keep and march to the core with the Immortal. OJ pops that Avatar to soak in some more damage. HGC with the Poison Spear. Aimer takes half of the HP down. There's a Grapevine. Nice Twilight Dream to silence, though. They can actually turn this back.
Yeah, they certainly could try to look to turn this fight. The Immortal's not very healthy. HA2 just barely has enough shields here. They grab the kill onto OJ. Fighting back right now. Goodza going to pick up another one. This is looking like it is just going to be the end of the game. Everyone on the side of Miracle was low after that Twilight Dream, but Feliz just did not have the target prioritization to knock people down, to get those kills.
It was almost so close for Feliz. Aimer used all of his skill shots with Li Ming right before that silence, so he couldn't pick up the kill and get all those resets. He had the perfect angle to get one after another with those resets. But with the cooldown, he missed that crucial timing, and they couldn't really get kills. Immortal was already on the core. I think with that happening, it was possible to defend, but without that, it was impossible, and they had all 5 left.
Yeah, it was I feel like a really scrappy game. Like both teams could have won every fight if they made a little bit of decisions a little bit faster or better. Miracle ended up winning every fight, basically at the end. With the exception of that one fight at the bottom, they took handedly. But Feliz had a few moments where if Bunker was better placed or if OJ didn't take too much damage, there were a lot of ifs. They could have won a lot of fights. So Miracle did not have the cleanest game here. OJ 5 deaths. 60k damage tanked, so that was going the fact that he died 5 times. Like, be aware, Hero Leaguers, when you have most damage tank card at the end, it does not always mean that you did the right thing. Obviously, Muradin should take more damage than other tanks because his passive allows him to regen that damage faster, but that's only if you know you're going to escape and retreat. And I believe he also did take 3rd win, so I get that he was trying to absorb some extra damage, contest the Immortal, run away and survive. But his survival rate was quite low. So.
Yeah, it was very low. And Miracle really, I'm liking this role change back to their original Gunza going to DPS. His Genji, it seemed like they were KSB Black or something today against Feliz. They were really flowing with the flow. They had all the map
of their
control.
team fights, though.
Of
the
course,
team fights were
few
a
of them,
little
but they were always controlling the macro. Of course, Feliz made the rotational mistake, and Miracle, with the experience they have, they used that really well into the game. They were always rolling in, pushing in. All their forts, all their keeps were alive. That's how they were able to keep that advantage level in that way, really keeping every structure. They had all the camps controlled the entire game. Well, really well played without so much range damage.
Yeah, it was, I mean, overall, control the map, very well done. Responding to the gank attempts, their own ganks, which were more intelligent, was well played. Feliz's early game needed a lot of work, especially the Blaze rotations from Hnatten and the 5-man rotations they had to try to gank members of Miracle. They were always like literally 30 seconds too late. Like by the time they were there, everything, the opportunity was gone. So
there are moments in game that you can actually waste time, like when all the camps are controlled, no objectives coming out.
Yeah.
You're just wave clear, doing wave clear, and on this 2-lane map, you may have some time sometimes, but not in this case when there's Sonya doing the camp at the top, and your own team not doing anything but wave clearing, and you never get your chance with your rotation. That was purely...
And they're missing experience in half of the lanes in the game, so they're losing basically a 4th of the level every time they make that mistake. You make it 4 times, you're a level down without a single kill happening against you. They're making these mistakes and losing members. They lost 3 kills in the early game, so it compounded even further. I want to see, you know, this map pick was the map pick of Feliz. I was going to say I wanted to see Tomb Inspired Queen. It's banned. I'd like to see a smaller map, maybe like Infernal Shrines from them, so that the macro play in the wider map isn't going to really be a factor. Cursed Hollow's banned. Towers of Doom, TOD. That's one I'd say avoid at all costs right now if you're Feliz. Sky Temple, do not do it. Do not go there. Because Miracle's macro is outclassed.
Yep, Miracle's macro, I think that's the key to all the higher Korean teams really trying to dominate with experience, with the basics of rotations in each battlegrounds and map, what they should do, what they should not do with the team comp that they have. Miracle just outclassed them in game 1. I think that's going to very well continue in game 3 and maybe game 4.
Yeah.
Please, I think they should just, even with the loss, if they're confident with the rotation on certain maps, they should actually choose map instead, because the second rotation right now, I don't think in this meta is the worst thing. You can actually pick up the pair, like the Sonya Medivh, that actually works really well after your opponent's first pick. You can actually counter them in a way too, depending on how you set up the first spends, of course.
Yeah, we had Maiev available. Maiev wins today, but has been dropping in win rate slowly over this week with a few more nerfs. The leap, for example, is the big one. 3 additional seconds.
Also, this was one of the game Feliz had